Good morning and welcome to Junior Achievement Black History Career Speaker Event. I am Erica Henn, the Director of Elementary Programs. We are excited for this opportunity to honor the triumphs of African Americans throughout history, and we also get to share with you local community members that have made an impact right here. Today, we're going to get to know our guest speakers and their careers as part of our JA Career Speaker Series. Today we have joining us Kenyatta Connaway. So without further ado, let's turn it over to Kenyatta.
For all of you all participating in this morning's event. I'll call it an event. So when I was younger, I just knew that I wanted to help people. And the only people that I knew that helped people were police officers. And that didn't turn out too well and I'm going to be very, very vulnerable here. I came from a neighborhood where there was a lot of violence. There was a lot of things going on, and I saw people getting arrested. I saw kids being taken away, and I was like, well, I don't think that I want to take any kids away, from their family. So from that, it was still a police officer, but I had no idea what else I wanted to do outside of that. I just knew that I wanted to be in a position to help people.
Excellent. So tell us about, did you grow up here in South Florida? Where did you grow up?
Yes, I grew up in the great city of Riviera Beach. I went to Washington Elementary, and I also went to North Palm Beach Elementary. From there, I went to John F. Kennedy Middle School, and I went to high school at Suncoast. So I graduated from Suncoast.
So you don't meet a lot of people that are original Floridians. So right here alone, we have a special morning. Can you tell us a little bit about your family and your culture? What are some things that your family did together?
Some things that my family did together. My mom was a matriarch. So for all of the students, the matriarch is the person who brings the family together. So every Sunday, my entire family, right now I have 5 generations of my family that actually still live in Palm Beach County. So I would say between 20 to 25 people would actually come to my house every Sunday and eat dinner at my mom's house. And that was great. In 2001, my dad actually passed away. I did not grow up in a household with my mom and my dad, but my dad was always there for me, supporting me and supporting my mom with me. And my mom also passed away in 2020. And that was a tough time for me. So mom is gone. So guess who gets to put on the matriarch hat? Me. Even though I don't cook, that's something that, we try to do. We try to still do things as a family, together whenever we can.
That sounds really amazing. So you've taken on quite the role of handling that matriarch position in your family. In remembrance of your mom, what was one of her dishes that really got you excited to head over to the dinner table?
Whoosh, I can smell it right now. Macaroni and cheese. How many kids love macaroni and cheese? Wave your hand. Yeah, macaroni and cheese. And there's this sauce. It's kind of like a soupy sauce, but it's not. It's called chicken sauce. And I love the savory taste of it, the aromas. So those were her 2 famous dishes.
Did she leave you recipes that you can maybe start to explore for the future?
So one thing my mom did not do was write down recipes.
A little bit of this and a little bit of that.
And when she tasted it, that was it. I did at one point take a picture of all of the ingredients. So I get to practice making that chicken sauce.
All right, awesome. So tell us a little bit about what you do now.
So right now, I am a mental health therapist. Raise your hand if you've ever heard of a mental health therapist or a therapist, right? So I'm a mental health therapist, and I also am a mental fitness coach. And most people have not heard of that because I actually created it. So just like we need our physical fitness, it's important for us to have our mental fitness as well. So I support people to move beyond change through behavior change. So people that feel like they're stuck in life and they don't know which direction to go, they may need a little support, just like you all need support from your teachers. I help people do that.
So you started off when you were younger wanting to be a police officer, and you knew that you wanted to help people. What shifted you to move into this way of helping people through talk and through understanding and through a therapy standpoint?
Well, it kind of fell in my lap. I did receive a full scholarship, a basketball scholarship to Barry University. So I went to Barry University and I actually did major in criminal justice.
All the way through college, you were like, this is the direction that I'm moving in.
Yes. And then I took a couple of classes in sociology and I was like, oh, this seems a little interesting. Maybe, I didn't know exactly what type of jobs I can get in sociology. But by the time I became a senior, I noticed I had more sociology credits than criminology credits, and I was just ready to graduate at that point. So that's how I got into the arts field, and I actually graduated from Florida Atlantic University because there was one incident. What not really an incident. My mom got sick and she had to have surgery, and my coach, she told me, if you go to be with your mom for her surgery, you're gonna become the water girl. So, I was stuck between a rock and a hard place. Am I choosing my love of basketball or my unconditional love of my mom and family? And so that was easy for me. And she actually did make me the water girl because I went to be with my mom, and that's how I transferred schools. So that's just a little background on how that happened.
So it sounds like life really can provide us with some challenges, but we have to navigate through these challenges to make the best choice for our outcome. So your day to day of being a transformational leader and working with people of all ages to help them to the next level, right?
Mhm.
What are some of the skills that you need as a therapist in order to do your job?
Well, have you all raise your hand if you've heard of mindfulness? Have you all ever heard of meditation? Have you all ever heard of journaling? Right? So these are some of the things that I do for myself in the morning. And this hen, I texted her this morning and I said, "Hey, I'm sorry to text you so early." She's like, "I'm up," and I texted her that, "Hey, I'm up at 4:30." She's like, "Oh, I don't get up that early, right?" But what I do in the morning, I have this thing that's called the foundational five, and I'm not sure if some of you all are in a position to take notes, but I do 5 things for myself every morning so that I can create and declare. Declare means I'm going to take control of the day, and this is how I'm going to start it. So I pray in the morning. I meditate. I try to read at least 50 pages of a book. I know that's a lot, but we can start small. And I make sure that I work out, pray, read, journal, meditate, and exercise. Raise your hand if you like exercising, because that is very, very important. So, those are the top ways that I actually get myself together so that I can support other people, because if I'm not okay, I cannot be the best version of myself for other people.
These are some great strategies. And, I think in society nowadays, how many boys and girls like reach for your phone when you wake up in the morning, or your parents' phone, or you turn on the TV? We have to really take a step back and think, how are we starting our day and how intentional are we with what we do to take
Yeah.
that time to really start your day off on a note of reflection and, like you said, declaring, right? What kind
Yeah.
of we work with kindergartners a lot, and one of our vocabulary words in kindergarten is choice. Such a strong word, right? Everything that we do, this is a choice.
Yeah.
So from the time that you wake up in the morning, whether it be 4:30 a.m. or 6:30 a.m. or somewhere in between, we start making those choices. And I love how you have everything really mapped out about how you're going to start your day intentionally, right?
Yeah. Yes. And I'll share with you all as well. Most people don't know that we have between 65,000 and 67,000 thoughts that goes through our heads every single day. So if we're waking up in the morning and we're picking up the phone, right? Or what are some other things that people do in the
My
morning?
kids want to turn the TV on right away. And we're like,
Turn
nope.
turn on the TV. Well, what we're doing is we're creating thoughts in our head that it's taking up space, and especially in the morning, you all are, wanting to get to school. You want to be able to eat your breakfast. You want to be able to be ready for class. And sometimes, hey, if I'm thinking about Pokemon or if I'm playing the PS5, well, that's not really giving myself the opportunity to be present, to be able to do the work that I get to do, because we don't have to do work. We get to do our work so that we can be successful. So we want to give ourselves an advantage. We want to give ourselves a fair chance to learn every single thing that we do every day.
Excellent. Some great words of wisdom, that's for sure. With your position now, what do you think is one of the biggest challenges that you face?
Overthinking, right? For me, thinking a lot. I see some heads nodding. How many of you all think a lot? Overthink, right? And those are the same thoughts that I'm talking about. Hey, thinking too much, having 2 and 3 and 4 things to do in a day. Am I prepared? Did
And then
I
your
do it?
internet goes down,
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So for me, it goes right back to that foundational 5. When I notice myself overthinking, I get to stop and pause. And like you said, to choose. We
Mhm.
actually get to choose our thoughts every single day. We get to choose that. We get to choose if we're upset and mad for a long period of time. We get to choose that.
How important to remember that. These are all choices that we make. So with your position, what is the most rewarding?
The most rewarding for me is, and I'm going to hold my tears.
Oh,
Yes. So what's most rewarding for me is living my why. So what a why statement is a vision that you have for the world. I have a huge vision for the world, and my why is to plant seeds in the lives of all, so that collectively we ignite inspiration in which others may grow. So I'm here today living my why, and my heart is full that I get to be a giver with intention.
I knew that from the first conversation that we had. I was like, there's something special here. She really is all about helping people to grow. There's no doubt about that. So what wisdom do you have for our future generations?
I think my
What are
screen
boys
is.
and girls that are out there across the district?
I'm probably looking funny on the screen. I think I'm frozen here. I don't know if you all see it.
I see you. You're good.
Oh, okay. Okay. What was the question again? I'm sorry.
The question was words of wisdom. We have all of our boys and girls that took some time out of their day today to tune in and check out this career speaker event. So what words of wisdom do you have for them?
The first word of wisdom I have is be kind to yourself. Be kind to yourself. That is so important, because when we're not kind to ourselves, it's very difficult for us to be kind to other people. Um, you don't have to believe everything you think. Now, we're talking about thoughts, and we have a lot of them. Some of them are good thoughts, some of them are some not good thoughts. Well, we don't have to believe any of them. What's possible if we can choose to believe what we want to believe, and believe things that's going to help us and other people, right?
Once again, back to that choice, right? We
Right,
control our
right
thoughts.
back. Yes, yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Another one is asking questions is the most powerfulest thing that we can do. I know when I was in the second and the third grade, I did not ask a lot of questions in school. I was afraid that people would judge me, people would think that my question was not a good question. And I just didn't ask. But when we don't ask questions, we stop growing, we stop learning. And actually, getting to know your classmates is a way to learn, and asking them questions, asking them, hey, how can I help you today? And that's a very important question to ask people as well. How can I help you?
And won't that turn your day around? Won't that change your mood around if you're helping others, right?
Yes.
Yes. Thanks for sharing. So what is Black History? So Black History Month runs February 1st to March 1st, but really all year long, we should look at the contributions that are made. But what does it mean to you?
Um, Black history, to me, is empowerment. Black history to me is simply important, because I believe, if we don't learn and understand where all cultures come from, what Black history is about, it gets eliminated. It gets eliminated, as though it does not matter. So Black history to me is power.
I love that. The empowerment. And it's just all connected to your thoughts and what you're saying about taking care of one another. Absolutely. So we have boys and girls out there. I think we have a couple of minutes for questions here. Do we have any questions from the audience? If you want to raise your hand or unmute. Let's see. Mr. Albanese, does your class have a question? Yes. What grade?
How you doing?
Mr. Albanese?
Yes.
How's it going? I'm sorry, what'd you say?
What grade are you with? What grade do you teach?
So this is first grade. I'm the school counselor, so I have all the classes. But it's
Oh, wonderful. With first grade right now. So what's one of their questions?
So let's go. Ezra, did you have your hand up?
You'll set
Anybody else? Elle?
Do you still play basketball, Miss Kenyatta?
Well, I'll probably go and play, but not play. Well, I can tell you a story. My life actually changed through transformation itself. Really taking a look in the mirror, and asking myself, was I passionate about the work that I do? And I was actually a clinical director for a nonprofit organization, and I would go to work. The work was easy. I just did not feel fulfilled. So what did I do? I went and asked for support, and I got a coach myself. And because I played basketball, I really love a challenge. And he told me to meet him at a Starbucks, right? We were going to work together, and in order for him to coach me, that I had to lose 25 pounds. 25 pounds. And I actually lost 64 pounds in a matter of 364 days. And so that's where transformation started for me. I said, if I can lose 64 pounds, well, what else could I do? What else could I do? And so I don't play basketball a lot, but I do work out 5 to 6 days out of the week.
Okay. So once again, taking care of your mind, your body, your soul, everything. Wonderful.
Yes.
Do we have other questions out there? I know we had a little bit of time to kind of think of some possible questions. I have plenty, so I can keep going if you don't.
I think there's someone raising their hand in Miss or Mr. Molina's class.
Ms. Molina's class, do you have a question?
Yes. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay, go ahead, Jenny.
How hard was it for you to become a therapist?
How hard was it for me to become a therapist? Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, well, I had to go, once I finished college, I had to go to school again. So it took me 2.5 years to become a therapist. And I was working 2 jobs, 7 days a week, and also going to school. So for me, it was hard. And what I know about hard now is that when things seem like they're hard, it's only because it's new. And so the more that we practice the hard things, over time, they become easy. So that's what I learned from that.
Lots of advice here today. So practice hard things and they become easy. They say often we avoid the hard things, right?
Yes.
We
And then,
avoid
and then we'll quit. Yeah.
So I see we have another question that just came up in the chat box, and that was from Ms. Balacera's class. And they want to know, what are your future goals?
My future goals. Ooh, that's a big question. I see myself in the next 10 years because Martin Luther King says, right, my life's blueprint. So when you ask that question, is what is my blueprint? I want to be speaking in a room of people. I'm not sure if it's, kiddos your age, if it's adults, up to 30,000 people by 10 years out. So it's by 2033, I want to be speaking to people. What it's going to be talking about, most likely around behavior change, because if the entire world can change their behavior, we will all be in a better place.
You know what? I have confidence that you're going to reach that goal. And what is, you have your blueprint. So once you have your plan, then you just got to keep practicing those hard things so that you can reach that goal.
Yes. And I believe in 1%. So if we can be 1% better than we did the day before, over time, our results will come.
Just a little bit better.
Yes, the
Small
turtle
changes
always
add
wins.
up, right? Those
Yes.
small changes, boys and girls. I hope you were taking notes. I hope that you are gleaning some words of wisdom from this session, because I certainly am. I think we have time for one more question. And Mr. Albanese, is one of his boys, wants to know, why is exercising so important? You talked about exercising your mind. You talked about exercising your body. Why is this so important?
Exercise is important because we get to be healthy. And if we are not healthy, regardless of whatever career we go into, we may not last long. You know, when we exercise, we're actually improving our dopamine. That is one of the chemicals that's in our bodies, right? We get to activate. That means we get to rev up those happy chemicals as well. You know, if you're feeling stressed, if you're feeling overwhelmed, you can go for a 5-minute walk. You can go for a 2-minute walk, and your mood could actually change. So I exercise for the health benefit and also for the brain power, because the more healthier we are, the more ideas we have, the clearer we think, and the more lives we get to impact. So that's why it's important for me.
Excellent. Thank you for sharing. Any last questions? Okay, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up. We'll just finish. I can summarize some of my takeaways. So we have the 5 fundamentals that you start with each day. And that is praying, meditate, read 50 pages, work out, and journal. So take something away from there, folks, because those are some powerful ways to start your day. A lot better than starting with TV, that's for sure. Being intentional and present, right? We get to work. We get to go to school. We don't have to, we get to. Yes. And in everything we do, we have a choice. Living your why, planting the seeds. I love that. Taking care of your body and your mind. Something that really resonated with me was just being kind to yourself. Life can get busy and we can get down on ourselves. We have too much work to do, or too much homework, or too much pressure, but just taking the time, taking a step back to be kind to yourself, asking questions, practicing hard things, and then of course, empowerment. So Kenyatta, thank you so much for joining us today. And to all of our boys and girls who joined us this morning, we thank you. We are going to continue to run sessions all week long. So if you're able to, tune in, and we look forward to seeing you again. Kenyatta, you ready to say goodbye to our boys and girls?
Bye. No, not bye. See you later, because you'll never know how